And we are live. Welcome back to the Actuality here with Invisible Sun, a surreal fantasy game by Monte Cook Games. My name is Grant Ellis, and I'm an independent content creator for tabletop role-playing games, primarily 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons and Cypher system. But if you are watching this show, I produce 4 Invisible Sun shows across 4 different channels that all interconnect as one major campaign. We're resuming the story. We have Jonathan Pruitt returning as Galahad this week. Jim, unfortunately, is traveling to Austin, Texas, and cannot be here, but I posted a suitably surreal portrait to fill in for his character. And why don't we go around and introduce the cast today, beginning with TK Johnson.
It's me! I'm TK, and I'm playing Babylon, who is your resident valley girl who uses memories for currency. It's a good time. I hung out in a really depressing park for a little while, and now I'm trying to find this lady who owes me money.
So, is the park you're referring to where the one... it's like the graveyard of childhood joy or something like that?
Yes, that same one.
Yeah, that, for those that watch Star-Crossed Rose and the Garden of Midnight, which is another show that's part of the same actuality, you would know that that is in the neighborhood where some of our other Vizsla live. So, to the right of TK on your monitor is the hottest singles in our area, Jordan Shively. Hello, Jordan. How are you?
Hi. I'm going to be playing Noah, who is an eremitic stoic apostate who devours knowledge and may or may not have designs upon the secret name of God. And a lot of more teeth should have.
We got all the sneaky stuff happening out of that sneaky apostate. Following Noah, we have Kelly, the opera geek. Hello, Kelly. How are you?
Hello. I am back, despite my camera trying to make me disappear. So, I am playing Armida, who is a bizarre ardent of the Order of Goetics, who converses with everything. She does not have designs on the name of God. She has designs on figuring out who the hell she actually is. That is all for now.
I love this tweet that went out of you with that's pretty frightening.
I know.
Man, looking at all these tweets, we all look so good. Man, we're adorable. Last but not least, returning this week, Jonathan Pruitt, one half of the WebDM show host. Welcome back, Mr. Pruitt.
Thank you, Sir Grant. It is good to be back. Had a fun week of shooting, but I did miss my peeps over in the actuality. I will be reprising my role as Galahad, the maker who warps time and space. Had a fun little side scene. I learned a couple of little things that maybe will come out and play tonight, but I look forward to getting surreal with everyone here and seeing how much we can bend each other's minds.
And who would like to give a recap? In fact, I think all of us should do this as the narrative begins today. Briefly, what they experienced last week and then what sort of happened in between. I think I'll give a brief recap of last week, and then everyone can fill in the audience as to what their characters were working on during the development mode session. So, starting with last week, our party continued to search for Limerence Street after the sudden arrival of 2 guests. One of the guests was Unresting Fire, a member of the Order of the Vance, who had a suitable dress to deliver to Pseudonym Python, who is played by Jim Davis. Due to Python's absence, they agreed to assist Noah the Apostate and Armida the Goetic into continuing the Limerick Street investigation to determine what happened both to the street as well as if they could gain more information regarding Armida's mysterious background. That party ended up trapped underground as arcane magics carry them away to a different section of the actuality. They had another encounter with the dread Seeker of Souls that seeks to devour those that summon spirits. And Schmedley, the Seeker Pig summon, led the party out of the cave beneath the world, which took them to the house of Sorsha Thorn, who is an angel who works in the Library of the Burning Principality. The other half of our party, Fantaclian, the Weaver, and Babylon, had a... they went out for drinks, and tragedy befell as the individual they ejected from the restaurant met a tragic fate as they were ran over by a passing streetcar. The congregation of onlookers had suspected Babylon to be somewhat responsible, since that was the individual's final words before they met their demise. However, Fantaclian cast a spell, warping everyone's memories, save one individual, to convince them that the recently deceased did not say Babylon, but in fact said Marmalon. And with that, let's catch up and figure out what our party members were doing between sessions in the development mode. And for our audience, the game never really stops. You can continue to advance your narrative, regardless of whether or not we are at the table or away. The game has modes and mechanisms to take care of that. So why don't we start with Galahad?
In my off time, I was able to get Babylon and Noah back to Babylon's house because he needed them in the same spot so he could then leave, because there is no way he was going to let them eat his brain and root around in his memories. So Galahad went on a bit of an excursion. He went looking for our friendly con man Bubbles, because I hatched a little scheme in order to go see the Garant, to maybe get an appointment there. And so I got one of those little flying ravens, only after saving Bubbles from some would-be enforcers that were hired by the Garant who were looking for Babylon.
Can you describe how the enforcers looked?
These panther-headed, where they were basically wearing like mob suits, right? With cigar.
Mm-hmm. One had a cigar, the other had narrow spectacles.
Yeah, but they had like panther heads, and they were looking for Babylon, and they did not seem like they were wanting to have tea with her. So, finding out that they work for the Garant, I went to the Garant's place, figured out how the appointment system worked, used my vanishing dust, and waited for an opportune moment, which presented itself when someone came in and distracted Miss Penelope Weathervane, the executive assistant to the Garant. And they left and went into a room. Meanwhile, there was also another man there. He was a radiant, glowing skin and gold-threaded three-piece suit. His name is Benjamin Leo. He is one of the wealthiest men in Fartown. And he was trying to establish some kind of a fund for the veterans of the war. And my name was actually on that list where he was trying to find all the veterans. Turns out he's trying to buy up property. And I only know this because I snuck around the Garant's office invisible after making an appointment for my good friend Babylon. So Babylon has an appointment for the next day. She'll get a reminder. And I managed to overhear that a chamberman is buying up all the churches of Legacy. He wants to knock them down, and this large, rather rotund man, Benjamin Leo, is trying to prevent that. So there's a bit of inner town politics going on, but my adventure kind of ended there. So he made his way back to probably Babylon's house after that.
And Armida, what were you up to? How, in fact, did you potentially, or rather, where did you go after you left the cave beneath the world?
Well, I was with Noah, who's kind of the closest thing I have to a friend at this point, next to Archie.
What about
of
me?
course.
Yeah, Archie was about to protest.
No, next to Archie. Archie is, of course, my very favorite thing. And we had been being pursued by that two-faced demon. So we thought it would be a good idea to go find the house that we saw in the hydromancy that my seeker pig cast in the water. Which, by the way, I'm very sad that I did not take the opportunity to do the, well done pig joke, but I did not.
That'll do, pig.
That'll do, pig.
That'll do.
So we were headed towards the home of a woman whose head looked like it was engulfed in fire. All we saw was her and her home, and I believe Noah and I were heading that way.
Yes, you ended up in her home. Did you have any discussions with her or anything you'd like to reveal to the party? You don't have to.
Well, I think I must, because Noah would have been there and seen.
I can tell you this. He knew you had a
being there.
conversation. He may not have known what you said.
So when I arrived at this woman's house named Sorcha, she had photos of me. But the photos of me, while they were me, didn't look like me now. My hair was different. It was longer and it was darker. I didn't have a cat. And I was with her, but I've never met her before. And she knew me. And she knew who I was and where I was from. But apparently she has also been the cause of someone stealing all of those memories from me and selling them. So I now feel hurt because this person who suddenly I was like, oh my God, I found a friend. She has unwittingly been the tool of my current state of not knowing who I am or where I came from. So I don't know if about I forgot the name of the person she sold them to.
Chanson Delacroix.
That's right, Delacroix.
Or he was the one. He used her to extract memories from you while you were in shadow, and he would have sold them.
Yes. So basically, she knows who I am, what I was. She knows about my life in shadow and who I was before that, but I still don't know any of that. So at the moment, I am still moderately upset about this turn of events. But I have the name of the person who has my memories. So there's that.
Mm-hmm. And Noah, what were you doing while they had their conversation?
So for most of that conversation, Noah was snooping around the house because they went into like the parlor and they kind of like ignored Noah. So he was walking around, and he found out that Sorcha is actually an angel of the legacy from his investigations in the books that she had, and the only way she could have had certain books is because of that. And he stole / consumed 3 of those books while he was in there. Like, it was almost like he had a moment where he couldn't control himself, and his eyes started to like leak those black tendrils that he had before, and all of his hair started to kind of like become the tendrils, and it came out of his face. And then as he was snapping back, they just brushed the books and absorbed all of them. So if she ever goes back to read those books, now every page is going to be blank. And as he kind of came back from that, not wanting to be found next to those books by the angel of the legacy and the burning principality, because that all sounds like people who don't forgive very easily, he walked in just as in time to hear the name of the person who had stolen Armida's memories, and he still kind of wasn't totally himself, and his eyes like were flickering black again as he saw that, and he smiled really big at that name, and for a second you could see row upon row of unending teeth going down his mouth, more than ever should be able to fit in a mouth on a person like this. And he looks over at Armida and he's like, oh, we're gonna get those back.
And that brings us, we heard a little bit of what Babylon had been up to. Babylon, what has passed since you last were featured on this stream? We talked a little bit about where you went. We don't have to go into extreme detail, only what you feel like sharing with members of the party and the audience.
Well, I'll tell you what I remember happening. After we went and we got breakfast and we got some drinks, mostly drinks, and then this guy died, and somehow people thought it was my fault, but it was not my fault. I never even saw that guy before. It was so weird. So then we went to this park, and it was really depressing. It was like black and white, and everything was gray. And we got there, and it was pretty much the saddest place I had ever been. But Fantaclian said that this is where we needed to be to find Isolde. And Isolde was a weaver, and she was very much a party animal. She was very cool, very passionate, had a ton of projects around town. I'm sure you've heard of them. Wanted to get rid of that really boring bookstore. But somehow along the way, I don't know how, some rumors got spread about her and she lost her inspiration, which is super sad. And she came to this park to find it. I don't really know a lot about it. Fantaclian knows way more about it because he's kind of a nerd. But he showed me how to use myself as an anchor. And we just kind of put a little line out there hoping to catch her inspiration because it was so passionate and powerful. Unfortunately, we did catch on to that inspiration, and when I spoke to her, for whatever reason, Fantaclian just couldn't really seem to hear her. So I tried to negotiate and get that inspiration, but she just wasn't giving it up. We'll have to try something else.
And it is now that we begin the session, as we do every session of Invisible Sun, by forgetting to play a card from the suit deck. No, we're actually going to play it. And this card is the Weeping Priest. Let me bring up the suit deck for those of you on stream. So the Weeping Priest is card number 4. And this card means betrayal, weakness, turnabout, disillusionment, loss. It is an apprentice card. And what it means if you are an apprentice card is if your heart is linked to this, you are -1 on all actions. So if your heart is tied to secrets, ravens, books, or flame, then you are -1 on all actions. This essentially means that typically there's going to be a surprise reversal soon. So going back to us, that is the first card of the session. Now, where would we like to begin our narrative today? When is the next time the whole party is going to be together? So, and also, what is the party most interested in pursuing? We know that there is... I see your note now, Jordan. Do you want to take that?
Oh, yeah. I was also going to say, got to mention that while going through the books that Sorsha had stolen, Noah found proof that the Vances have been plagiarizing the spells of an apostate and passing them off as their own discoveries. And he has found that the book that they're plagiarizing from is The Source of Truth and Lies, which then has references to another book called The Unholy Foundations of Cosmonomancy. And so one of the things he really wants to do, and his main goal is still kind of to follow along with Armida and see her regain her memories, but he now has a sub goal of sticking it to the Vances and making sure everyone sees that their structure is based upon plagiarism and lies, and not as like well learned as they say they are.
So now let's set a scene. There's a lot of different threads, and they all interweave more or less delicately. But let's pick a thread to follow. Now, this narrative control, you, the players, have control over. You get to decide as a group how you would like to pursue it, and then we can use the rules to help find a way to integrate your character arc, or play in more of a backseat role. So let's talk about, as players, what we feel the party should be pursuing. That is for you all to discuss.
I know Noah is very much in the mindset that he wants to pursue recovering Armida's memories. Behind the scenes, he's doing this both because he is beginning to develop a friendship with her, and also because he does want to figure out how she does her magic and possibly add it to his own. But it is also because he is developing like a friendship on this person because of their unabashed pursuing of his friendship, and he's not used to people doing that. So he's like, oh, this isn't the worst thing ever, this person talking to me, me having someone to talk to. He also, at the same time, isn't going to push that agenda because his own personal goals are very long goals. And so he's kind of just flowing with the river of the rest of the group. And then I'm going to reach out and do his thing whenever he gets a chance.
How does the rest of the group feel?
I mean, up until this point, like, I think Armida was kind of treating the search for her background as kind of, it's a little whimsical. She wanted to know, but it wasn't, like, really important to her. But now, to know that it's been stolen from her, she would definitely like to pursue it, because she would like to take a bit of vengeance out on the person who did this. And she'd like to know why.
I have a question for Babylon. Did Fantaclian tell you about his upcoming date?
No, all he did was hand me a business card.
Fair. Yeah. He's actually going on a date with Sorsha Thorne, who...
What?
Yeah.
They're going on a date and they didn't even tell me?
No, he didn't tell you at all.
I thought we were best friends.
And he totally swept her off her feet, rolls and everything, in his last streamed game. But that's whose house Noah and Armida were in.
I cannot believe this. I thought we were best friends. See if I ever help him with anything again.
He keeps secrets from his BFF.
Right?
Maybe you're actually...
I've never kept any secrets from them.
Maybe you're actually frenemies.
What are you implying?
That he is actually a friend enemy.
Okay. Yeah, that seems pretty straightforward. Yeah.
I know. I'm on the nose. I'm fat and not very tall, so I have to be quite on the nose. What about Galahad in Babylon? So there's a lot going on in this neighborhood. There's a lot of information they have. Why don't we set a scene where you, Vizsla, gather essentially to touch base after all the recent events. Perhaps this is a scene where Armida and Noah have returned from attempting once again to find Limerence Street and literally being sucked underground. Galahad would probably want to inform Babylon of the upcoming appointment. So this could be later that evening, in fact. as kind of a final close of the day. Where is a place where all the Vizsla would meet at the close of the day? Pick a meeting spot or the type of meeting spot, and we can start flavoring it together.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting kind of hungry.
I'm not going anywhere where they don't serve alcohol, so.
I am very hungry.
Do they sell alcohol at the Bodega?
You have to know how to order it off the menu.
Oh, yeah. No. I know the secret menu. Don't worry about that.
You could also go to Zero's. That's in the area.
Zero's pretty popular.
What about that
I like
noodle
it.
place?
I like noodles and I like Bodega. Zero's is for the fucking establishment, and I hate that place.
Yeah, you can find the Bodega. It's walking down the road, but it's kind of... It almost seems like it's had a long day. The sun's been beating down on it. And
What kind of a cat is the Bodega?
I think calico.
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
100% calico.
Is it fat?
Oh yeah, it's so bad.
Overly so.
Oh my god.
You know what it is? It's a Scottish fold.
Oh my god.
Oh, with the big eyes and the little legs.
Oh my god.
No, not with the little legs, but the ears
The
that fold down
ears.
and the huge eyes.
And a flat face.
Oh my
I can find a
gosh.
picture of my friend Maysoon's cat. She is a Scottish fold.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a Scottish
oh my
fold.
Gosh. Do Scottish folds have tails or do they have nubs? Like
They have tails.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
I mean, that's how we have to get into a Bodega, is you have to run up the tail.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
That's how you do. So, it's waddling
Babylon has
down the
changed
road.
clothes again. It's already doing it. Like, already on her.
Yes. So it begins with the Vizsla have climbed up the tail and crawled into this Scottish Bodega. And you have ordered exactly what you desire, and it is currently being served to you by a top hat that has arms and legs and is just kind of doing its job. So with that, let's play out the scene as characters, and you can catch each other up as to where to go next. We can assume you've already recapped everything you were willing to divulge from the recap earlier, but now it's forward-looking. We've lost TK.
Sorry, I broke
Sorry,
TK.
I pushed the wrong button. I just
Look
loved
into
this
my
cat
eyes.
so much.
I
I'm
am Babylon now.
I'm sorry. I just love this cat so much. I would
So
die
Noah
for this cat.
is sitting like backwards on one of the chairs with it turned around, and he had ordered a plate of coffee roasted baby carrot tacos with like a peppered yogurt and curry granola, and he's eating those while he kind of like has his feet sprayed out under the table. There's little bits of feathers on the bottom of his boots, and he kind of just silently watching the others while he eats his carrot tacos.
I'm sorry, that was just a very specific food item, so I'm processing it.
They roast the baby carrots on a bed of coffee beans,
Okay.
so it kind of picks up the aroma of the coffee.
Okay.
Babylon looks at his food and looks at him as, I hate this and I hate you.
Armida would have gotten, because she was vetoed for the noodle shop, so she would have ordered herself. she would have ordered herself noodles anyway.
You want noodles? We can do a noodles. So that's what the top hat says. The little top of it kind of blows up and down as if a stiff wind's blowing it. You want a noodles? We can do a noodles. And that's it's kind of feeling around for. It's got some good, like a pho bien. You know, it's.
Excuse me, Top Hat. It's a very specific noodle. I'm not sure you can do it.
My name is Sebastian, and I can do any noodles.
I knew a Sebastian once. He looked like an octopus. I want Korean silken tofu noodle soup.
What is a Korean?
Crap. Well, I will. It's just tofu soup with noodles in it.
Here.
Give it to me.
Here.
now.
Here. Go ahead and breathe your thought into this jar, and he holds up kind of like a fishbowl thing to your mouth. Breathe your thought into there, and I'll see it. You're in the actuality. It's a spell. All right, and you can see a dish that looks just like exactly how you imagine. And he catches it, he caps it, and then he shakes it up really hard, and he opens, and the dish is served perfectly right out of it. He's like, "Whew! I hope you have fond memories of its taste, because otherwise, not so bueno."
I do. I appreciate it.
Noah looks over and he's like, I'm glad that worked for you, because when I breathed in that bowl, I was thinking about a Reuben sandwich, and this is what I got. So
Sometimes the food chooses you, he says.
no, it's good. It's very good.
So, what about for you, sir? Back from the war? Back from Shadow?
Yes. Can I do, like, we need to do some brisket with, like, an orange glaze and, like, a side of, like, lime curry rice. Is that, come here, give me the thing.
No. He just goes, yes, and he reaches directly under the counter and he pulls it out perfectly and hands it to you. Just,
thank you.
He orders the same thing every day, he turns to Noah and says.
If you find what you like.
And he pulls up like a flight of drinks for Babylon, then a second flight, and then a third, and he goes, triple flight.
Yeah, and she'll, oh, thank you, I'm famished. And she pulls out like her own thing of like a grinder for like the rims, and she like peppers the rims with some bone meal. And then puts it back in her purse and pulls out a big old crazy straw.
And Noah kind of looks at that for a second, and then out of the cup of one of his sleeves, like a little shadowy tendril goes out and like steals one of the cups and like puts it in front of him.
I love it.
I'm gonna say Babylon sees it and actually thinks that Noah's cool for like 5 minutes. She's like, and she kind of like looks over and
And he's like,
so here's a question. You've all received your food. The top hat does look at Babylon and says, you know, 2 guys were looking for you. They're kind of like mauve-colored jaguar.
Ugh, men are always looking for me, but I just don't do that anymore.
They seem pretty intent on finding you.
Oh yeah, Babylon. I saw them. They're from the Jaren.
And they
Cool,
are coming up the
Cool.
tail and have just stepped into the Godega.
Oh yeah, those guys right there.
Oh, cool, gal. Thanks. Cool, very cool of you.
who are these
I
people?
told you.
They wear 3-piece suits. They have the heads of a jaguar or a panther. It is mauve and colored. One has a small pair of glasses. The other smoking a cigar. Yes, he's smoking right here in the Godega. They've been looking for Babylon.
Instead of getting like really irritated that they're smoking in there, Babylon kind of like just kind of sinks in her seat a little bit.
Noah kind of surreptitiously pushes himself away from the table a little bit.
Yeah. She pulls out like the most obnoxious pair of sunglasses and like puts them on too.
Galahad, is this going to be a problem?
Possibly, but possibly couldn't be. How tall? I know this is a
One's 6'3", and one's probably 6'1". They're both quite tall.
Oh no! I was
For
gonna
Grant
ask
Ellis. Oh,
Babs. I was gonna
Babs?
ask Babs. Like,
She's
how tall are
4'1". No.
God, Babylon, she actually is pretty short. She's like barely, the top of her ponytails are 5 foot.
Oh.
So where she's got like she's petite.
So.
She has a huge bobblehead too, so just keep that in mind.
Well, if you want, I could hide you in my jacket.
Oh, Gal, look, we just work better as friends, you know?
Mhm.
Like, I don't want to ruin our dynamic by, like, going in your jacket all the time.
The one with little glasses sits down next to Noah. And he looks at what you're eating. He'll say, "Hey, Hat, I'll have what he's having." And Hat kind of barfs up exactly what Noah's having.
Noah kind of just slowly takes a bite.
The second one, the one with the cigar, sits next to Babylon and says, "I've been looking all over town for you."
You should be looking all over town for an ashtray. That's rude.
"Oh, sorry." He takes it and he knocks the ashes off into your drink. He goes, "We're going to have a talk. But not here. Not now."
So what are you still doing here?
"You're going to have to tell us when and where."
Later and much later.
"All right." And he pulls out a watch and he sets it on the table. Oh my god. "Set the hour and the minute to later and much later."
Oh my god. Are there days on this? Are there years? She's
No,
like,
there's an
winding it.
hour and a minute.
Hour and a minute's fine. Yeah. That sounds great. How about we meet? And she's like trying to think of somewhere like super not where they are. Limerence Street. That sounds great.
There's no street called Limerence Street.
Sure there is. Everybody knows about it.
Show us on the map. They pull out a map of Firetown. Lay it down. You can see everywhere from the Veterans Pond to the Cathedral of the Legacy to the Library of the Burning Principality. It has exquisite detail. Not only that, you can see on the map, like the taxis are actually moving. And it looks like there's little dots, little people moving on this kind of animated map.
Babylon is super interested in that. Gal, look at the tiny taxis. Look at them.
Yeah, yeah, that's quite a work you got there. Where'd you get that?
Gal, yeah, look at that. You'll love Gal. He's my best friend. We do everything together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we look at maps, we eat, talking. That
Commit
helps
crimes. It's fun.
Noah's starting to like drum his fingers on the table, kind of like in like a. He's starting to get super annoyed at these two people, but he doesn't want to like interpose into Babylon's business without being asked to. So
Sorry,
the
are
one with
we
the little
under-
glasses has like
You can
symbol,
tell he's
like
starting
he
to
has a
think.
little triangle, and he's starting to play along with you as you tap.
I just who are you guys? Like, who are you? Who are you people? Who are you? Why are you here?
We work for the Garant. We happen to be constables.
Uh-huh.
We're the closest thing to rule of law.
I'm sorry. Just wait. Sebastian, could you please give me another drink? This douchebag ruined it. Could you? Thank you, Sebastian. You're so sweet. I'm sorry. What were you whatever about?
And Sebastian comes over and gets it. He goes, "We work for the constable.
Mm-hmm.
We're the closest thing to law here in Firetown.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some questions for you about a
Okay.
recent assassination."
What?
So closest thing to the law doesn't sound like you actually are the law. And if you're
Yeah.
not actually the law, you can fuck off.
Are we under arrest?
If you think there's actual law here in Saturnine, you are sorely mistaken. You think there's some way we could wrangle all of you magic people?
Oh boy.
I know for a fact you can't.
Yeah. So, like, what are you doing here? You just named yourself as superfluous. So, like, why are you here? Am I
Because the
under
Garant
arrest? Are
runs
they
this
under arrest?
neighborhood. The Garant runs this neighborhood. Do you want to get locked up? Because we can
you
lock you
me
up. We don't
You're
think
not
we
the
have
law.
to.
You just said that there's no law.
Well, I'm
No.
sorry.
Isn't that just kidnapping?
Yeah, I'm sorry. but-
Essentially, yes.
Oh my god, are you gonna kidnap me? She says like really loudly.
Listen, and Gal's
Hold
gonna
on.
step in.
Is that a-
Gal's gonna
is that
step
a
Hold
in.
on.
threat? Sounded
First, I
like
wanna
that guy
hear
just
fr-
threatened.
I want to hear from Galahad, then I want to hear from Noah.
Yeah, Gal's gonna step in here. I'm sorry, but you might want to check with your Garant. Like Babylon has an appointment with her tomorrow. So maybe you should go check your books
Yeah,
before
I
you
do.
start harassing the Garant's friends.
We don't. You're a friend of the Garant.
She has an appointment with her.
Lots of people have appointment there, young man. That's when the one with the glasses speaks up and he says something. He goes, "You don't talk to him that way." And it's kind of like
And
Smoker looks back over at Spectacles, and he goes, "He was a soldier," and he's like, "Oh, my mistake."
It certainly was. It's okay.
He drops money to pay for Galahad's meal, and he goes, "We're not going to lock you up. And you might think you're off scot-free because there is no law and we're not really cops. But here in this part of our town, this is our turf and we represent the authority."
Okay, so you're a gang. That's fine.
That's a rather crass way of putting it. But
Yeah,
they are.
well,
You're
if
not
it's
wrong.
rude to do. Yeah.
They are essentially... Garants are more like crime bosses. They're not...
Oh.
There is hardly... But they do run the neighborhood, right? So...
I've
There-
drastically miscalculated this interaction.
I think, yeah.
no one knows exactly who the Garant is, and he still kind of looks over and goes, "Asshole says what?"
Like, Babylon for a second says that, and then she like locks eyes with Gal for like 5 seconds and is like, "Thanks a lot, Gal."
All right. Soldier boy. Soldier boy. May have saved you this time, and so did Big Mouth over there. And they look over at Noah, they go, but,
Only I bully him, okay?
He smiles really big, and his teeth, the phantom teeth, flash there, and he's like, "You have no idea."
and they kind of lean back, and, one reaches for a holster, and the other one kind of stops, stays him. He's like,
Gentlemen.
"We know how to find you." And then they exit.
Owe me a drink.
Sebastian's like, "They tipped very well," as he's counting the orbs from where they paid for Galahad's meal, oblivious. He's a hat after all.
Sebastian, they're mob. Of course they tip well. You're just going to give it back to them later.
Probably yes, but they won't tear my arms off like they did to my brother.
Wait, what did they do with the arms? Did they put them on a cart?
No,
Oh, okay. Never
they
mind.
made a toy out of them and gave it to the local children. They still play with them to this day.
Oh, recycling. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I would like to
That
point
was
out
it.
that the whole time this is happening, Armida is sit there eating her soup, and occasionally she'll take a noodle out with the chopstick and just put one end of it to Archie, who will slurp the noodle out of the bowl.
And Archie's eyes get all... Yeah, it's hard for him to slurp it, but yes.
So that was a friend of yours, Babylon?
I don't have friends, except for Gal and Fanta. And Armida.
Hmm.
I'm your friend? I didn't know that. Archie,
yeah, okay.
Archie, did you know that?
Oh, God, that's right. Oh, Fanta and Gal.
I'm going to play a soothe card at the resolution of that scene. It looks like, it's the mirrors one. All right, so let's pull this up and see how this will change a few things in the game. Card number 36. It's this weird, untrustworthy mirror. All right, so it is gold magic is now a little more effective. So when on spells, it'll tell you the color of your magic. And silver magic is a little less magical, and that is what you know. And with that, let's go back to the game. So
Quick question.
yes,
Out of game. So how do things like gold and silver magic and stuff, how do those affect Weaver spells? Because I don't know how to classify the magic behind Weaver spells.
I assign a color to it when you're
Oh, okay.
inventing it.
That's fine.
And it'll be determined by the type. So if you're doing a creation spell, it'll probably be like gold. If you're doing a
Okay.
destruction spell, it'll be red. Things like that.
Cool. Okay, I'm just making sure that there's like a system, which there probably is, but that I know the system.
I'm going to be honest. Monte Cook on the secret forums goes, "Look, guys, your guess is as good as mine at this point." He's like, "You got the game now. You better play it." So that's where we're at. So there has been a change in Magic. So where to, gang? You've the perusing Panthers have found Babylon. A larger gentleman comes out from the back. He has the head of a bison, the body of a beer drinker. And he kind of comes out. He goes, "Hey, Babylon, 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 Babylon. We can't be having those guys up in this establishment. Why were they looking for you?"
I don't know. Why do men look for women at any point in the world? Who knows?
Those weren't men. Those were constables.
Cats are mysterious creatures. They go where they want.
Can you promise me they're not going to come back here?
A super duper pinky promise.
All right, he holds up his meaty pinky.
Yeah, and they like hook around, and she like blows a little kiss to it. Yeah.
Yeah, a little animated, like Roger Rabbit smacks on it. He's like, "All right, just please."
Of course, and she like pats his head, and I'll see you next Thursday, or whatever day it is. I don't know. Time doesn't matter.
Babylon, you know everybody.
It's more like I just pretend I know him, like that guy. I'm sure I've heard his name before. I have no idea who that is.
But you said you'd see him on Thursday.
I'm sure I will.
Switching from...
You confuse me, Babylon.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. My question for Babylon is, do you intend to keep the appointment Galahad had made for you?
Oh yeah, she wants her money. And it's kind of better for Babylon at this point to see this problem head on, as opposed to being arrested and thrown in a cell and not being able to see the Garant for who knows how long. It's better to just go to the Garant on her own terms.
Okay. So I think it's fair for us to fast forward to that scene. Did you want anyone from the party to accompany you, or did you want to go alone?
Yeah. I need my gal pal, at least.
Okay.
And Noah and Marmita can come if they want. She will extend the invitation, but she is not expecting them to.
Noah goes just to
walk into a
protest in front of a
mob.
government building with a sign.
She's not expecting them to like put themselves on the line for it, because she wouldn't do it for them. But she's like, if you guys want to come, Chad might be there.
I mean, that is not a bonus. I am mostly interested in helping Armida get back those memories. But if knowing what the Garant is up to helps us in that, then I'll come along.
You know, there's a library, Odo's book, that you know about, not too far from the Garant's office, if you wanted to pop in there while they meet. You have a choice of going in like Kermit the Frog and Company and the Muppet Movie and surrounding Orson Welles, or you can break off from the pack. It's your choice.
I'm fine with going to the bookstore, but that's right there while they go in, but kind of like hanging around in case they need me. You know?
I mean, I'll go where Noah goes, because he seems to care about what happens to me.
And Babylon can probably like sense that there's like a weird affinity between them two, is just like as friends or something. So she's like, okay, like whatever weird nerd stuff you're gonna do, there's a bookstore.
But you know how to get us to come if you need us.
Uh-huh. She does not.
So
I was kind of assuming that all mages, like a kind of a telepathy thing, is pretty low level. So, you know, just kind of like
you guys can. Yeah, you guys can do that, no problem. Now
They sync their mage watches.
Which scene would you like to play out first? Meeting with the Garant or the library?
I say library.
Okay. So, You come to Odo's Books, which is a hole in the wall. It is literally a hole in the wall. There is a brick wall with a hole in it, no door or anything. And inside are dusty, kind of like the bookstore in the Neverending Story, but instead of kind of a weird, awkward man who talks about Captain Nemo and things like that, there is a small blind mouse sitting on a counter. Oh, Archie, please don't. Don't eat him, Archie. That is Odos, and he's kind of sitting in a little rocking chair, and he goes, "It sounds like our meat is coming in. Also sounds like Noah."
Archie's here too. I'm sorry about last time. I promise he won't do it again.
There is also a woman perusing the books. I'm going to drop her picture in the Discord. I'm also going to bring it up on screen for the audience. And she's looking around for books as well. And he's like, "What can I do for you, Mr. Noah? What do you need?"
Hi, Odo. It's nice to see you again.
I wish I could say the same, but I'm blind, you know.
We both know that you see a lot more than you let on.
This is true.
And so Noah reaches over now the cuff of one of his jacket. He pulls out a little card that seems to have braille, but it's not braille like you've ever seen before. The points seem to be there and not there at all at the same time. And he hands it to the mouse. He's like, "This is the book I'm looking for." And he had imprinted the name of the Unholy Foundations of Cosmonazi on it.
Yeah, he goes, "Oh, yeah. I think that one's out on loan, but, it's, I think it's, you can get a, huh." And he just kind of feels it. He goes, "It's not on loan at all. It's been stolen." He's like, you can tell as he's feeling the name of the book, he's learning where this book is. He goes, "That's really strange. Who would want to steal from an old blind mouse? Would you steal from me, Noah? No, you would never steal from no one. At least not,
I would never take a physical book away from you.
I know that for a fact. So why?" He seems really unnerved that someone would take one of his books. And he seems to be thinking almost like he's scrying. In the meanwhile, he seems to go into a slight trance. Now, while that is occurring, a tall, striking woman, her skin is kind of like a beautiful ivory color. One half of her body has tiny holes poked into it, completely up and down, and purple smoke seems to puff out, and it smells like wonderful lavender. She's well dressed, and she says, "Excuse me, young lady. I am looking for a book, and I was wondering if you could help me look around the shop for it."
I mean, yeah, I can help you. Sure. What are you looking for?
Oh, I'm looking for all about claromancy, and there is a 2 books. First, learning about claromancy, and then the second is the secrets of telluric energies. You're a goetic, aren't you?
Yes. How did you know?
Eyes. It's in your eyes. You have obviously. Who did you study and train under?
I don't know.
I can see that as well. Well, help me find this book, and I might be able to help you.
So Armida, in opposition to most of her other kind of ditzy seeming, doesn't know what's going on kind of thing, has been asked where a certain book is in a shop set up like a library, and immediately makes a beeline to the exact section and area to which these books would be found, and pulls them out.
And it's almost as if she stuck them there herself.
Mm-hmm.
Almost as if
Armida in a library seems very comfortable.
Yeah, this is Not only do you seem very comfortable, it feels right. In fact, you're starting to feel like, you kind of feel intense memories, and you're starting to feel as though you worked here before. It wasn't for a long time, but it was more like an internship or a summer job back before you fled into Shadow.
And Archie, I assume, is following along with me as I go wandering through these sets.
He hasn't taken his eyes off the mouse who's in a trance.
Listen.
Noah kind of like leans on the counter by the mouse and looks at Archie.
Archie has attacked puffins, so Archie doesn't have much of a sense of self-preservation. But as she is walking past the central area where the desk is and the mouse and Noah, she will very calmly reach down and pick Archie up by the scruff of his neck and wrap him around the back of her neck, and then just keep walking and make a beeline. And she's going to stop right in front of the section where the books would be. Ma'am? Miss? I didn't get your name.
Isabel. Isabel Nora. Second degree Vance.
Hello. I'm Armida. This is Archie. I think your books will be right here in the section.
Oh, so they are. You're a genius. You are, in fact, an incredible talent, an extraordinary talent.
Thank you. I know libraries, and this was where that should be, so it was. You said you could help me?
Absolutely. So I think I know the individual that trained you. I recall you being trained at the records of the Goetics, the Order of Goetica, and you used to frequent parties in the area. And your trainer, whose name, what is his name? Bartholomew? No. Charles Abernathy. Charles, he's going to be at a party over at my house in about 3 nights. You're welcome to come.
It's very nice of you. I don't really do parties. I only hang out with a few people like Noah.
And she looks up, sizes him up and down. Ah, yes. Charmed.
We should, Armida, though, we were talking about going out more often. We should go to this party.
We were?
Could be fun. Yeah.
Oh, you have to bring Noah to the party.
Gives her like this.
Handsome man as he is.
Right. We were talking about going out more. That is a thing that we did.
Yes. And Noah kind of looks at her like, and who did you say you were?
I'm Isabel Nora. Aren't you that... Oh! I know you. You're Noah Besden.
Do you?
Yeah, you eat things. You've got too many teeth in your mouth. Go ahead, show them to me.
That's very forward of you, ma'am. I'm sorry, but he doesn't just show his teeth to everybody.
Yeah, Noah definitely doesn't do it.
She says she's kind of fanning herself a little, and she goes, "Please."
Noah, she seems really.
I don't perform.
It's not a performance; it's a favor.
I can have Archie open all his eyes if you want to see something with too many of something.
Oh, that'd be lovely as well. And Archie immediately shuts all his eyes and kind of curls up like a roly-poly.
Archie, I will give you, I will make Dan give you extra treats tonight if you open all your eyes for the lady.
So
He opens them all as wide as possible.
Can we try to do the making up a new spell again? Because I think Noah would be kind of standing there, kind of leaning nonchalantly by a bookcase, but his left hand is going to go back and kind of touch one of the books, and he wants to try to, because he's so intimate with books, because that's his food, that's what he lives on. He wants to try to like make a network out of all the books in the thing, like one story jumping to the other, and then all informing like this net that he wants to try to sense this person's like intent, or if if there's a story that's guiding them that is going to be lying, or
This is like a 4th level spell. So go ahead and you would spend 4 sorcery points, and it's resisted by her level and her resistance. So I can tell you what those things are. So this is level 9 to start. Your magic, after you cast the spell, will reduce it by 4. So you need to roll on a 10-sided die, 5 or higher.
Okay, and I can add sorcery to that to make it easier, or
is that how that works? You can spend a Benny to make it a little easier. You can spend up to 1, and you can use sortilege to roll extra dice.
All right, so I'm gonna spend a sortilege and spend a Benny to make it easier. So I'm gonna roll 2d10 now. And then another one. So, yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Right? Because you choose the one that was the best one, right?
Yeah. You can tell, based off of creating the web of books, all the knowledge you have. She thinks both you and Armida are very cute. And she was recently rejected by a lover. And the best way for her to meet new people is to throw lavish parties. And she extends an invitation.
So Noah doesn't sense any type of like that she's lying to us or trying to like guide us
but
into
you
a trap.
do sense she's trying to hide some of the lavender smoke. Because she finds you both attractive, she's kind of, smoking out of her holes.
She's putting out more smoke.
Yes.
She's inviting you to a key party.
So
this is a
Noah,
night of drinks.
at this point, kind of smiles very large, so like all his teeth are there for a minute. He's like, me and Armida will definitely come to your party if Armida has time.
Oh,
Noah, did you just ask me out?
I said we'd go to a party.
She
Armida.
giggles. If you have any other friends, please bring them.
She literally, so Armida bases
If you two are an item.
No, Armida bases all of her interactions with people on like stuff she's just read in books because she has no comprehension. So, yeah, she's not exactly.
Does she leave the shop after she says that? Not Armida, the other.
Isabel.
Does Isabel leave the shop after we agree to go to the party?
She has the 2 books she wants, so she checks them out from Odos.
Oh.
So Noah kind of walks over by Armida like he's looking at a book, kind of like that scene in any library scene where they're like looking at the book but talking to each other, surreptitiously. Yeah. He's like, that's a very good place to go if we want to find out about your past.
Do you think someone there would know?
She said
I'm actually pretty good at talking to people.
She said that your ex-master who your teacher was gonna be there. Charles Abernathy?
I mean, the name isn't familiar, but she could be right.
The name in this place, working here, Charles is the one that got you a job here.
I do. I remember that now. Okay. So.
You remember it now, after denying it. But yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll go. I did know a Charles at one point. Maybe he did teach me everything.
It's a better lead than nothing.
It is a better lead than nothing because we have that person's name, but that took my memories, but we don't know where to find them yet.
And maybe someone who used to work with you would know about this person.
Facts. Noah, you're extremely intelligent.
Before Isabel leaves, she pulls a book out of her purse that she had slipped in there. And it's the book that Noah was looking for. She hid it because she was hoping that he would talk to her. So Odos couldn't find it. But she leaves it on the counter. And Odos is like, "It's back! It's back!"
What's back?
The book!
That's it.
The book.
And Noah kind of looks at Isabel as she leaves, and he's like, "That's very quite the coincidence."
Well, I mean, even if it's a coincidence, you have what you needed now, right?
It's true.
Are you going to eat it right now because, or are you saving it for later?
I don't eat books that I take from Odo. I would never do that, Armida.
But
Odo, I wouldn't, man.
He goes, "But if you needed to, just let me know first." And for those of you who are patrons, you may have seen a side scene where literally one of the players, Odos, gave them 3 books, they blended them up, and then they drank them for the knowledge within, so they could know how to do something. He's like, "But if you need to eat one of my books, just tell me."
Okay. Let's mark this one as a maybe.
Odos, have you gotten any more information? Remember I told you to keep your eyes open for any books you found about that big tree that talks to me by my house? Did you get anything? Yeah, that doesn't sound promising.
Yeah, Odos kind of looks around and he's like, "Here's something that was left for you. You,
Really?
You ever work at any other libraries? It's part of your training?"
I might have. I don't remember. Maybe?
A nemesis stopped by. By that, I mean she's nice. She's an angel after all, but she left something for you.
What did she leave?
He pulls out a small bag. It's like a little heart-shaped coin purse. And inside is a key and a note. And the note says, "To the collection of the Burning Principality." And it is a key to that library, which is locked from time to time. And it says, "All my love, Sorsha Thorn."
I know who this is. She's very nice.
Odo, why did you call her a nemesis?
She works at the other library. They've been putting me out of business. They got more help, they got more money, but we got all the better books. They're mainstream.
Don't worry. We know that. The true book lovers.
We like coming here. Archie likes visiting you.
Well,
I can guarantee you, Odo, whatever we do at the Library of the Burning Principality will not be in their favor.
good. I'm surprised
Probably correct. Noah, should we go get ice cream?
I mean, if you want ice cream,
It's a thing that's not a book, but you can eat it.
I guess I could try that.
Okay. And I will take Noah by the wrist, not even by his hand. I'm just gonna take him by the wrist and just
Noah looks very uncomfortable.
So now I'm
with that,
dragging him out of the
yes.
bookshop with Archie still wrapped around my neck, just kind of looking extremely
Dragged
off.
right out. Now, in the book, you both were given invitations by Isabella that read, dear friend, please come and join me for an elegant evening of wine, comestibles, and fine company, June 14th, 8 p.m., 333 Action Avenue, Farmtown. Yours lovingly, Isabel Nora. That's about 3 nights from now. We're going to cut camera to the other side of town, at the office of the Garant, where Galahad in Babylon, old Penelope Weathervane kind of comes out, and she kind of double takes at Galahad, almost as if she's seen him before, but she hasn't. And she's like, cologne's familiar. I
get that all the time.
So, you're the individual with the appointment to see the Garant?
Oh, yes. This is...
Not you, her.
I was introducing her. It's kind of my thing.
Oh.
Babylon is actually waiting to be introduced.
Yes, this is Babylon.
Ms. Babylon, you are, right on time. The Garant's very busy, and if they seem rushed, just know that, they don't mean any disrespect.
That's okay. I will try to make this as brief as possible. And she is wearing, like, a 1930-esque, mobster-style suit with, like, big shoulders and everything. But imagine that, but gothic Lolita cut.
Oh,
and she
nice.
has like a tiny bowler hat, like fascinator, off to the side with too many red roses. And she has little gloves with frills at the wrist, but they have decorative brass knuckles.
This is great.
She's she's just like smiling. She's got her best pink lipstick on. I'm just happy that the Garant could take just a few moments out of their busy schedule for me. I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
Well, all right. You may go in. And she snaps her fingers or claps her hands as I gestured. An arm grows out of the door, grabs the handle, and it pulls itself open. There's a long hallway going back. Checkered floor. The walls seem to loom in, and sitting at the desk is a woman. She looks to be in her early 40s, and she's simply glancing out the window, watching, and she goes, "Come in, come in."
Babylon will come in. Hello.
Hello, that is a miraculous outfit. That is quite charming.
Oh my gosh, thank
She's
you
stunning.
so much. You are so sweet.
What brings you to your friendly neighborhood Garant this afternoon?
Well, I actually ran into a couple of your associates. I was planning on making an appointment anyway, and I just thought that it would, spare you the time to look for me. A couple of your associates came and saw me the other day. They left me this business card, and she kind of like slides it across the desk.
And I have no knowledge of this individual, and I know everything in this neighborhood. Where do they live?
Limerence Street?
Limerence Street. Limerence Street. Let me take a look. And they open up a giant dusty tome. And they begin kind of fumbling through. And they're like, Limerence Street. No, you've got the wrong neighborhood. This is Silver Hill, where it should be. I can't seem to find it. If you'd like to check one of the maps, and she points to a cabinet. And the cabinet is loaded with what looks like old-timey scrolls, just kind of rolled up, haphazardly tossed around. She goes, I mean, there's a chance that we might find the street. I simply cannot.
Do you mind if I have a look at that map there?
By all means, take a look.
Yes, gal, please be a sweetie.
And Gal kind of lays the map out and straightens it completely, like every crease. If it was folded up, he kind of runs his fingers along it, and it all goes completely smooth on the surface that it is on. And as he's doing this, I'm going to be casting. I can't even read my own writing. Vinuan's Teleosis. Basically, it gives me a +1 to whatever action I'm doing with this object. And I want to search, and then he, out of nowhere, pops out, tilts his hat back, and then looks through this little device. Y'all have seen him look through. And so with the spell and his eyepiece, his Verity Actuator, which reveals the truth in all things, that gives him a +2 on the roll to search for Limerence Street on this map, to reduce the task by 2 at least.
You look through the map,
Mm-hmm.
and without any doubt, there is 100% no evidence. There's a 100% chance that there is no Limerence Street, and there never was a Limerence Street, and there never should be a Limerence Street. And the only sign that it ever existed is it seems to be imprinted in evidence on each of you Vizsla.
That's quite interesting.
Galahad, what's your character arc?
My arc right now is discovering a great mystery,
Okay.
which is the mystery of why I am slowly disappearing, if you'll notice.
And she looks at you, and she can tell just... She says, the corruption's got you, hasn't it? It's kind of looking at you over. Have you seen a doctor? I'm also going to play a soothe card because we changed scenes.
Not gonna make the joke. Not gonna make the joke.
I am the doctor.
I'll just take a sip.
Boy.
Doctor, not as of yet. I've sought out various makers in my order.
So, just so we know magical consequences, we played the unknowable truth card, and essentially indigo magic stronger and gray magic is weaker right now. But also, what I want us to realize about this card is it advocates for finding a conclusion to a mystery, but often there is a futility with attempting to find that conclusion. And the Garant pulls out a picture. And in the picture, it is clearly her standing next to what would be her husband. You notice he is missing, his throat. He's missing portions of his chest and his side. He goes, he had the same ailment.
Was he a soldier as well? Did he fight in the war?
She kind of nods painfully.
Mm.
And she explains, she says, this can't be treated by any good doctor. You're going to need to see the Chamberman.
The Chamberman, you say?
Yeah, and I hate to even speak his name.
And I wish I could do it or have it. But Gal starts, you see Gal take a gold coin, and he's kind of running it between his fingers. It's the coin that he got from Leo. Right? It was a gold coin, right? From Benjamin Leo?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. But he's just going to do that, like, kind of offhandedly. Just where the Garant can see it.
Yeah, she gets it. And she goes, tell you what. She turns to Babs and she goes, is there anything I can help you with? I can't find your street. But I feel like I owe you a favor.
And Gal's gonna lean over to Babs. Oh, she could call her goons off.
Well, I just hate to ask because I feel like maybe you don't even know about it, and it's not really your fault. Like they just kind of ruined my breakfast with my friends. But I do have their business card too. Do you know these guys? And she like slips the Panther Man business card.
Yeah. You show him and she points to a large picture on the wall. And it's a series of photos of these two panther-headed individuals, decorated war veterans, wounded in the line of duty, law enforcement. There were bad gangs that used to run these streets in Silver Hill, and these panthers chased them off. Working in homeless shelters, feeding needy Vizsla children in the actuality. Like, there's a whole series. She goes, yeah, I know them. They're good kitties.
Okay. Yeah, why were they so mean to me and my friends yesterday?
I doubt they were mean to you, she says.
They put their cigar out in my drink.
To be fair, I did bear witness to this. It was quite rude.
Yeah, Gal, tell her.
Well, I can't excuse their behavior, but they must... What did you do to cause it to escalate?
I don't know. They wouldn't tell me.
Well, were you involved in any crimes recently? Or the semblance of a crime?
I don't know. Do you have like an example of any crimes that have happened lately?
There was an assassination.
Oh my god, who?
There's this gent by the name of Douglas, kind of an ugly, quirky kid with inverted eyeballs. He was an informant against a certain emerging criminal power that is looking to exert certain political influence over the development and purchasing of real estate here in Silver Hill and other parts of Fartown. And this individual, whose name I cannot name, saw to it that they were hit.
Oh my gosh. So you can't name them because you don't know the name, or you can't name them because you like it's a secret? Is it a secret? Just like
it's privileged information.
Okay, so
we had hid them up in this bar down the road that they weren't supposed to leave.
Oh my gosh.
Next thing you know, they were in broad daylight.
Oh wow. That sounds really unfortunate, but it kind of sounds like you have all the information you need, so
well,
not really sure.
We don't have all the info. We don't know. It's kind of like this. We can't scry, divine, and prognosticate.
Mm-hmm.
We need informants. And we need informants who are willing to work with us to identify solutions to serious threats against our neighborhood. And one serious threat is this individual who shall not be named. And when she says that, she looks over at Galahad and kind of motions back to the picture of her disappearing husband.
Babylon will absolutely like follow that gaze and like, Gal? Is it Gal? Did Gal kill that guy?
No.
You could tell me. I won't tell Gal.
Abs.
What?
She points at a sheet of paper. And she whistles. And as she whistles, a little quill comes out of the other room. Penelope's kind of chasing it. She's like, hey, my quill. And it has little legs, and it comes out. And it starts writing. And it writes the name Chamberman on the sheet of paper. And then the Garant blinks, and the paper catches on fire.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Do you write all of your messages by whistling?
I didn't write that. A quill did.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of
That's-
course. Of course.
That's how it was able to be done.
Oh, this is a secret. Gal,
Ah.
shh, it's a secret. Okay, so what do you want from me? What do you want? What do you kitties want? Hello, kitty. I love Bones so much. I would die for your cat.
Monk
They
did that
need-
at the end of my Warhammer game.
And I say that with my own cat sitting right here. He's asleep though. He can't hear me. It's fine.
They need to perform an investigation that might be a little uncomfortable for you. They may need to come to your house and turn it inside out and upside down. Because if they are looking into you, they have reason to believe that this bad actor, whose name I will not name, may have secrets hidden in your home.
Oh my gosh. Gal, did you know about this?
Well, only just now when I heard. But perhaps, I don't know, Babs. I mean, maybe you could help them find these secrets.
I like secrets.
If somebody is hiding secrets in your house, wouldn't you want to know about it?
I'd like to know about the secrets, yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. You convinced me. This seems fine.
So, what I'm going to do is... What is the exact favor you need from me? And if you want me to call them off, I can call them off. There's going to be consequences as it relates to their investigation. However, I kind of feel like I owe you guys one.
To be honest, I don't think that should be our favor because that actually seems like a pretty normal question and maybe they can get my creepy neighbor out of my house.
Oh my
So I'm going to leave this to Gal's judgment.
Babs, you know what I saw him doing the other day?
No, stop it.
Okay, never mind. It was gross.
Was he
Don't
gymming
put-
his Davis?
Ugh.
Was he Davising his gym?
Like audible sounds of Babylon like throwing up in the back of her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
she's had a lot of alcohol today, so it's more likely than you think.
It's that
Yeah.
time.
Never Davis your gym.
Wow.
Never gym your Davis.
God, my mouth tastes terrible right now.
And with that, that is the scene within the home of the Garant, or rather the Garant's office. So where does the gang come together again, and where are they headed to? So Isabel Nora said various friends could come to the party. So who would like to attend that party? Charles Abernathy, who used to be Armida's professor, is going to be there. There should be other Vizsla. Curious who all plans on attending.
Have Babylon and
I'm-
Gal already been invited?
I was
You can
going to
discuss
invite
now.
them.
We're out of moment to moment, and now we're in sort of a
Okay.
narrative mode where you guys can decide.
I was gonna invite Galahad and Babylon because Babylon seems like the kind of person who would tell me what to wear.
I would absolutely dress you.
And while Armida is inviting them, Noah is like licking, but like with like a puzzlement, like a cone of ice cream. Like he doesn't know how to.
I told
like
you
he's
it's
forgotten.
good.
He's forgotten how to do it.
I got him cookies and cream with so many rainbow sprinkles. He has to chew it. It's exactly what I get.
I'm imagining Noah like flat tongue licking it though. He's like,
No. He's like he's not doing it right. Like he's just touching.
yeah. Like bringing the ice cream to him.
Yeah, and then like he gets a little frustrated, and like you see like he turns his head, and then all of a sudden like the ice cream cone seems to turn to like black dust and like evaporates into the air. And he like looks around like almost embarrassed and like puts his hand behind himself.
Noah.
No,
This
Noah,
calls
let
for a play of the soothe. Red is stronger, blue is less. It's actually because we changed scenes, but
Now,
that's a
Noah,
card of good fortune.
this is a
Mysterious.
secret. Next time you eat one of those, just eat it all at the same time. It's much better that way.
Ah,
You get all
Like a
the
soul.
flavor at once. Think about it.
so
I
just
mean,
like a
it's
soul.
more fun if
Okay.
you just take like little bites and you chew all the sprinkles. This is not influenced by Kelly's way of eating ice cream at all.
I just had never had like
You just got called out by your
a soul sprinkles.
bullshit.
And with that, we're going to go into development mode, which essentially you can decide how you want to prepare for the party. If the maker wants to make an item prior to attending the party, we can go through that system, either here or outside of the table. If the Goetic would like to summon things to come with them to the party, that's good as well. We know that it's in 3 days, so we're going to have roughly 3 days of downtime. Everyone will get income as the week switches over. So if someone wants to visit a changery and have a dramatic change to their physical appearance, they might actually have money by this point. If they want to look like, say, Pyramid Head from Silent Hill, or anything like that. But let's go into our character summaries and talk.
Why would you do that?
Noah goes to the changery, but when he comes back, his hair is just a little bit more messy.
He was there for like
He just
7
did it
hours.
wrong.
He has like a dirt
Yeah.
stash, and it's just like
one little bit more of a curl.
Yeah.
It maybe it's somehow a little bit longer after you.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Galahad
But
comes
he's-
out, and he's
He's
literally
like very like happy with what he did. He's like, yeah.
Galahad
whole new
comes
me.
out, and he's literally just dressed like Han Solo from Star Wars. He's like, I look exactly how I wanted to.
I have no idea what I would change. I will actually let Babylon help me change.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
But nothing
So-
too crazy because
What?
Armida is not as crazy as you.
Oh my gosh. So, look, Armida. Like, let's talk about this. What are you doing? What is this? What are you doing? What is this thing that you call yourself? What is this look? What is this? What is it? What is this look?
Me?
Ooh, okay, I hate it.
I've never been to a changery before.
Oh my gosh. Come to the changery. Come on. What are you wearing? What do you wear? What do you wear to parties? Let's look through everything. So I assume that there's like this whole like montage of them going through Armida's clothes in her house.
This is
like,
Clueless.
one
This is
outfit.
her in Clueless remaking.
Yeah. It's all just like one outfit.
So
Yeah, I imagine that Babylon dresses you like have you seen the first Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie?
Yeah,
Pre-show.
yes.
Okay, so it's gonna be that prom dress with the black jacket, but the black jacket's gonna have like a whole bunch of spikes and like sigils like painted on it and everything. There's gonna be like summoning circle patches and things like that, and she's gonna like comb through your hair a little bit and like put a bump in the back and then put like a flower, and then she's gonna take some lip gloss and just like smear it on you, and then she's perfect.
Armina will very gently
Don't
reach
touch
up
it.
and just kind of like wipe off the stuff that's not on her lips.
Yeah.
It bothers me that it's not on my lips.
Don't ruin it or I'll break all your fingers.
So Noah tries to dress up for this party, but when he comes out, he looks like an old West Undertaker, like the black suit with the shoestring tie and everything. He just went really serious by accident.
Just
Babylon's
he looks
actually
like Wyatt Earp walking towards the OK Corral. Just like, sorry guys.
with like the pointy toe shoes and everything.
Pruitt's got
and like the kind of like
my cat
it
went
just
to
makes
Pruitt's
him look
house.
even more like lanky and like haphazard.
Are you wearing a hat over your crazy hair, or are you just leaving it?
He put one on there, but it slowly just was absorbed into his hair, like it ate it.
You just see the top of the stove top. Just
So like
I like
I shall it's not really the same cat, no Twilights. That would be a blink cat, and those don't exist. So yes, I guess Armida is wearing a really bad 80s looking prom dress, but it's black.
no, well, it's not that bad. It's got a sweetheart neckline and it's cinched at the waist, and then it does have like the tulle and everything. But by the time she gets the leather jacket, she has torn the
Yes.
bottom, so it's just the A-line skirt, and then it ends at your knees. So it's actually kind of cute in a weird.
So Armida is showing her legs, which is something she does not normally do.
Yeah,
she looks
Babylon
extremely
shows you-
uncomfortable.
She shows you a collection of sparkly tights that you could wear with it.
Do you have anything in black?
Yes. And she like shows you some with like some like bedazzled rhinestone cobwebs on them.
Oh god.
I'll take it.
Excellent.
Clip
Those
this,
are
please.
secretly her favorite. She like hands them over.
This is gonna look awful.
I'm really excited. I need
So,
to see
fan
fan
art.
of this.
Everyone, let's get some fan art going on
Fan
this.
art.
Fan art would be great. I think Archie's actually gonna have a spiked collar on.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Yeah, you're
he's
gonna
gonna
fit
ride
the-
on my shoulder, and I'm gonna
Yes.
have since I've got these sparkly cobweb things, I kind of got really too into it with Babylon and started to think I was hot shit. So I got the boots with like the spike heel, and I'm like,
oh
yeah.
yes.
But I'm already like 6 feet tall, so now I'm like 6'5".
Babylon
Nice.
actually like
Poor
takes a
Noah.
bag.
He's gonna be like,
Babylon takes a bag that's got combat boots just in case, like flat combat boots. So
Yes,
that
you
way
know
you
what's
can
gonna
come
happen.
without ruining the look.
and now Galahad, what are you wearing? You're wearing a cat.
Going to wear a cat.
Hmm.
No, I'm gonna. Got a couple of days. I'm gonna really think about what I want to make in order to accessorize.
An exoskeleton.
Get to the party, somebody's dancing with Babs, and I'm like, "Get away from her, you bitch!"
You have 3 seconds to comply. All right. We're going to jump to our character summaries for this session. This session ends with preparations for the party.
What the hell are you doing?
We lost her.
He's eating my green screen.
No, that's not good. So let's talk about how our characters grew and changed. So let's start with Armida. So you have the mysterious background character arc. And talk about how you explored that during this session.
Well, I met somebody who seems to know me, which is interesting. I kind of felt reassured because I felt like Noah actually cared enough to help me. Like, he seemed really angry that someone had taken my memories without me knowing. And she's also going way out of her comfort zone to like go to a party to find out this information. And is trying really hard to fit in with Babylon.
So
It's not
that
going
cat.
so well.
So you receive a point of acumen from the research that you did going to the library, talking with Odos, meeting Isabel, and learning that your instructor's name was Charles Abernathy, and he will be at a party. So you receive experience for learning that information. Now, let's talk about Galahad. Has Galahad... what is the exact name of your... Are you solving a mystery? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, his mystery, I mean, he notices his form bleeding away, and he doesn't really know why. He thinks it has something to do with the corruption. And today, that was confirmed.
So, what I'm doing is I'm attempting to find the mechanical name of the arc. So it's solve a mystery, correct?
I believe it's called solving a mystery.
Yeah, because that's the one that seems. So, likewise, let's talk about any information you received during the adventure through play that points to that arc.
That points to that arc, I learned that it is because of the corruption and that it can't be affected by a normal doctor. The Garant's husband was affected by this, and to me, the way that the Garant spoke of the husband, he's no longer around.
No.
Would that be a good?
He is not anywhere around.
Yeah, so that's kind of troubling to Gal. But he also learned that maybe I need to speak to the chamberman about this.
Who is no bueno.
Who's no good. And I do know that he wants to, and I already learned what the chamberman does, that he wants to unmake these places, these churches. And so, Gal's going to follow up with this somehow. He's still working out the best way to deal with someone like this chamberman. Because he's done a lot of fighting, but that was in the past. And maybe he's a little tired of fighting, but he's still got a little left in him.
Bullet to the brain. Now, Noah, go ahead and talk about your character arc and how it was explored during the course of the adventure today. If it was. And if it wasn't, that's fine too.
I feel that Noah, the part of the arc that happened is that he is beginning to see that the path of the people who he's with can also be his path, that he doesn't have to only go on this straight shot solo thing towards power, that the strands of his life can intersect with other people and still go towards what he wants. Just like in helping Armida, he found an instance of where apostates, he can help clear the name of apostates and show the shittiness of the Vances, which is all kind of part of him wanting to tear down structure. So he's beginning to see that there is a path for him that doesn't involve just like closing himself off to any interactions and only going after pure power.
And what is the name of your arc again? I have these written down someplace, but it's also, I happen to be in the book as well.
He's seeking to uncover a secret. Great secret. So,
the secret. So, uncover a secret begins with you. So, you're currently in the research stage. And by going to the library and finding a copy of the book that you were looking for, that counts as research, getting the point of acumen. As you are acquiring information that points to it. And there seems to be a connection along this line of Vances stealing spells from apostates and claiming them as their own that seems to point to the greater mystery that you are learning as, I assume, during the downtime. It's kind of like, I don't need to worry about tussling this hair anymore, and you're just reading your book and learning more. We can discuss...
and he's also
go ahead.
wanting to, by doing all this, what his mind thinks he's doing is that he's tearing down all the walls that these schools have thrown up to hide the secrets of magic from him. So one by one, he's going to tear down these institutions to get to the secrets that they're hiding from him.
And now let's talk to Babylon a bit about the fall from grace. Now, my question is, how do you see Babylon descending further? Is she taking people's secrets and selling them? Is she giving them to the Chamberman? Is she the reason Galahad's disappearing? What's going on here?
Yeah, she is. No. But she didn't further that fall of grace in this session, but she did in the side scene.
That's what I was going to talk about, too. That whole, I know what you have in your coin purse.
Yeah, she lied to Fantaclian and took the inspiration for herself.
Shame. Betrayed that sad boy.
I mean, look.
I can't. You stole it, and it's hidden in your purse.
It's not hidden. If you took the purse and looked in there, you'd find it. So it's not like
we're not all thieves like you.
It's a lie. It's not a secret. It's just a lie, and that's fine. Friends don't keep secrets from friends, but they can lie to each other. They do not.
So, I believe that is everyone's scene. So that is our session for this week, ending right at 10 o'clock. Next week will be the party of Isabel Nora, which happens to be the party that pseudonym Python was invited to. And we will begin next week there, unless there are any side scenes. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Tabletop Loot. Tabletop Loot, I'm going to throw the discount code in the chat. Get 15% off dice, shirts, mugs, etc. When you use the coupon code WebDM15. Production is paid for by my Patreon, patreon.com/GrantREllis, where all the money is going to help finance production, the players, art. I'm currently making all the overlays, the intro videos, etc. And we pay for these things through my Patreon. Like to thank my players for doing such an excellent job. Before we go away, though, let's go ahead and do our plugs. We will start with Pruitt, then we'll go Kelly, Noah, or Jordan, and then TK.
Had an amazing time, as always. This is such a weird and fun game and a great group to play with. And I'm one half of WebDM. We had a new video come out today on Astral Dreadnoughts. Go check that out if you're bored. And I have my own game on Tuesday night, Starward Bound, Spelljammer Inspired. Also have a couple games over on Encounter Roleplay. This is the end of my 9 hours of gaming today. Already got in some Call of Cthulhu and Warhammer, so I can't wait to come back next week and once again traverse the actuality with you all.
And Kelly.
Hello, I am the Opera Geek. You can find me Wednesdays. The Wednesdays is also my long day, although not 9 hours. From 2 to 5 on the Greyhawk channel, playing Greyhawk Singius Bard Brelinda. And then, of course, from 8 to 10 here in the actuality with all my buddies. I'm just going to give a real quick shout out. If you click to my Twitter name, there I have a pinned post. I am part of a trio of ladies called the Terror Muffins. And we are doing a fundraiser selling shirts with our donated logo from Capri Creations that will help a charity that seeks to help women escaping domestic violence in New Jersey. So that's going to go run through October. So if you click on my Twitter, it'll be a pinned post and you can read all about it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what I do and stuff. I'm done.
And Jordan, who does get a point of acumen.
You can find me on the internet, mostly at the @Hottest Singles, Dread Singles Twitter. I also write for games occasionally, currently writing for City of Mist. You can find things I design at voidmerch.net, and I'm here every Wednesday night.
And TK.
It's me. It's TK. I write spooky stories on the internet. If you like spooky stories and not paying for spooky stories, you can go to tkjwrites.com or follow me on Twitter. TK joins the fray. On Sundays, I'm on the D&D Twitch channel for Hell's Bells. On Tuesdays, I'm on Don't Split the Podcast Network with Demon Plague. On Wednesdays, I'm here. And on Thursdays, I'm also here, but with Land Between Two Rivers. Also on Thursdays, but soon to be on Fridays, I write articles now for tabletoptest.com. Last week was my first one where we talked about the mechanics of updating classic adventures for a more modern mindset table. This week, we're going to talk a little bit more about the social aspect, role of women and POC in classic adventures, and how to update that so that it's not so racist. That's all I got. That's it. Okay, I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Thank you, Gary. Sorry. Should be nice. His kids know me. Still. And as for me, my name's Grant Ellis. I'm an independent content creator for tabletop role-playing games. My next convention, if I don't do TwitchCon, should be PAX Unplugged. I'm speaking on 4 panels, from everything about historical and visual representation of transgender in Dungeons & Dragons, to the evolution of lore in Dungeons & Dragons, to playing well with others, how to handle conflict resolution at the table. I'm also, I think, doing an improv showdown with other dungeon masters where we're going to see who can improv the best adventures on the spot. I'm coming into that pretty high confidence because I'm an arrogant individual. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for joining us on our adventure in the actuality. And goodbye, good day, and have a wonderful night. Cheers.
So long, farewell.
The river